Hello, and oh, sorry, start my video there. Hello, and welcome to the New Jersey Association for College Admission Counseling College Fair. We're excited to have you participating in today's event. We have some fantastic schools here with us today. Each will have 6 minutes to share more about their institution, but they'll be around for the entire session to answer any questions you have. My name is Daisha, and I will be your facilitator. Before we get started, I have a few housekeeping items to share, which you can see on your screen. First, your camera and your microphone are off, so our panelists will not be able to see or hear you, but you can use the Q&A button on your screen to type your questions to our presenters at any time. If you have questions for a specific school, please make sure to list that in your question so that they can respond appropriately. This is one of many sessions happening today, so be sure to check out the schedule on the website for other sessions today, as well as sessions occurring tomorrow. This presentation is being recorded and will be available at strivescan.com/New Jersey. I will now turn it over to our first presenter, Kean University.
All right, I'm gonna try to share my screen here. Loading. All right. Well, while it is loading, I will introduce myself. My name is Jose Rodriguez. I am one of the freshman admissions counselors with Kean University. I'm also an alumni of the university. I actually just graduated this past August with my bachelor's in communications. And here I am able to proudly tell you guys a little bit about my university and what kind of goes on. For those who are unaware of where we're located, our primary location is over in Union, New Jersey. We're a 30-minute train ride from New York City, but that of course is not our only location. We have a remote campus, satellite campus, actually in Toms River, New Jersey, for those students who might be interested in potentially being part of the Ocean County Community College. You can actually come and still be a Kean student on that campus as well. So it's one of our multiple remote satellite campuses that we have. We also have a campus over in Jefferson Township, New Jersey, a little bit further up north for those students who might be interested in environmental science. It's a fantastic opportunity to be able to study the land on this beautiful nature reserve that we have available. We also are the only public university in the entire country to have a full English-speaking campus in China. The NJACAC campus is an initiative that we started back in 2012, where we've been able to offer an education on the other end of the planet, which is always a fantastic thing to be able to talk about. One of the great things that we offer on this campus is that the same cost of tuition to study there as it is to study on our main campus. So at no additional cost, our students are able to travel to China and study over there. Of course, as for our main campus, there's just some short little factoids. We have a very small class sizes. Our average class size is actually 20-1, but we have a 25-1 faculty ratio. Our students graduate with 32% lower debt than the national average. We have also been recognized for the past few years for our social mobility. More so than that, we are also the first public research institution in the state of New Jersey as well. I have just going to stop here just for a brief moment to allow anybody in who's interested to scan these QR codes. We are separated into multiple colleges that have multiple majors within them. We are, of course, founded as a college of education. We are still the #1 producer of teachers in the state of New Jersey. We've, of course, since grown since that. We have a fantastic business program that is really grown over the past few years. We actually just built a brand new building, that'd be Heinz Hall. We have also increased funding for our science programs as well, increased the size of actually the program in general. Also added a brand new extension to our science building, which has, of course, been great for those who are interested in research opportunities. We have also been very involved in the LGBTQIA community. We have very much started to produce a lot more newer events. So for example, we have provided safe zone training for our student, faculty, and staff. That is campus-wide. Anybody who's interested, we host them yearly. We also have a Connection support group. We have an entire list of events that go on during the LGBTQ plus History Month. We had added that rainbow crosswalk, which is actually pictured right there on the right-hand side of the slide. We have a coming out day over in October as well, the Trans Day of Visibility over in March, and a Pride Prom, which actually was very recently. We held it over in our STEM building. Living on campus, of course, is a fantastic opportunity for our students. While we are primarily a commuter school, we have a train station actually located on our campus. We have many students who come to live on our campus, and it's a fantastic opportunity. We are residence halls, not dorms, meaning that we are suite style. No communal bathrooms in any of our residence hall facilities. So it's a little bit of a nice situation where you're sharing one bathroom compared to one bathroom per floor. Just you're sharing usually with only 3 other students. As for what goes on our campus, we have a lot of dining opportunities as well. You will never go hungry on campus. Located over in our Myron Student Center, we have Smashburger, Jersey Mike's, Auntie Anne's. We have a sushi location there. We have essentially a Chipotle right off campus. We have a Panera as well, just right across the street. All those off-campus locations are actually within a 3-minute walk from the campus, which is always fantastic. We're also considered the most caffeinated campus in the state. That's a good or a bad thing, depending on who you ask. But we also have other locations on our campus, including the residential dining hall, which is a buffet style for the students who are looking to live on campus. For the application process, fairly simple, applying on our website or via the Common App. We are test optional, but what I always say is that any student who is looking to apply to us who has taken an SAT or ACT, definitely send that over to us because we will still review them for scholarship purposes. But we only require the transcript, a high school transcript for our freshman students. For those who are applying to our music theater programs or our design programs, we do have special program requirements, which may include either a portfolio or an audition for those programs. We have many scholarship opportunities. We have the merit scholarships, which is automatically reviewed just based off of academic merit. So we're looking at the rigor of the classes and how the students did in those classes. And for those of you who might be interested from outside of New Jersey, we offer a $4,000 annual scholarship for those students who are looking to live on campus that are from out of state. I'm proud to say that we are the most affordable 4-year institution in the state. That is our in-state tuition and fees. That is a yearly amount. Our out-of-state is also located there. We have our room and board, which we essentially say doubles our tuition and fees per year, and a meal plan as well is available for all of our students. We do have many events that come up throughout the year. In the fall, we will definitely be increasing them. Of course, we've been having many in-person events, but we also offer a lot of them virtually as well. Open houses shall be starting up in September, but for those who are interested, those are some quick links there applying for our through our website. Our accepted students page for any of you who may already be accepted, financial aid information. Also, if you have any questions for admissions, that is our general line there. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Kean University. Our next presenter is Moore College of Art and Design.
Hi, everyone. My name is Elena. I'm an admissions counselor at Moore College of Art and Design. My pronouns are she, her, and I'm really excited to tell you about our school. So we're an art and design focused institution located in Center City, Philadelphia. We're really happy to be joining this LGBTQ student focused event today through StriveScan. Again, my name is Elena. That's my information there. I'll also put it in the chat afterwards. So to tell you a little bit more about Moore, we were founded in 1848 as a textile design school for women, and we remain the only historically women's college for art and design in the country. Now our admissions policy has been updated since 1840s. We accept applications from all students who identify as women, who were born female, or who identify as gender non-binary. So any student that is a cis woman, a trans woman or man, or a non-binary student is welcome to apply. You know, really in that focus to help serve those who've been historically underrepresented within the arts, and really having, you know, staff, faculty, and students all coming in to promote the work of women, non-binary students, and trans students in the worlds of art and design. Really makes for a very focused and very, you know, welcoming community, certainly. So just some basic numbers about Moore. 100% of our BFA students will receive financial aid or merit scholarship. We do have a merit scholarship program, so 100% of students that are accepted into the school will receive a scholarship. We really put the emphasis on the work that you've done in your high school career, both in your transcript as well as your required portfolio that I'll mention later on. But a really exceptional opportunity. Those scholarships for students from New Jersey typically range anywhere between $12,000 to $20,000 per year. We also have a visionary honors program that is accessible to students, and that has a $25,000 per year scholarship as well. 97% of our alumni are employed or in grad school 1 year after graduation, and this is employed in their chosen creative field. So we're really well preparing you in the studio classes you're taking, as well as in the internship program that I'll mention next. We're really well preparing you to join these creative industries. 100% of our students will receive a guaranteed paid internship. That's we're the only art and design college in the country to offer this. Takes place between your junior and senior year. During that summer, it's $1,000 stipended to really enable you to live where you need to. So whether that internship be in interior design in New Jersey or in animation and game arts in California, there are also additional travel fellowships if you're looking to take your internship abroad. We are located, like I said, in Center City, Philadelphia. We're that little red brick building on the right there. Not so little, we do have 2 classroom buildings, 2 residence halls. Usually around 80 to 90% of our first year students will live on campus. Philadelphia is a really exceptional place to be, especially for artists and designers, opportunities for internships, different cultural institutions. I myself moved to Philadelphia when I was 18 and found the artistic community be very welcoming, exhibiting a lot of student work. And like I said, lots of opportunities within that urban area. I'll also mention the city of Philadelphia in terms of a wonderful place for those who are in the LGBTQ community. Certainly we have different cultural centers like the Gayborhood, which is around 13th Street and Market. We also have the William Way Community Center that is specifically for LGBTQ Philadelphians. More students have actually hosted an art exhibition there, which is really exciting. I also wanted to point out on the left there, the Philadelphian Pride flag, which includes the stripes for Black and Brown, is meant to bring to attention the issues of people of color in the LGBTQ community. So Philadelphia is really a very vibrant space for cultural institutions, community centers, but as well as those opportunities in art and design. Also a very low cost of living. So a really exceptional place to live, work, and study to be an artist or designer. These are the different majors that we offer here at Moore. You'll see the majors of animation and game arts, art education, fashion design, film and digital cinema, fine arts, graphic design, illustration, interior design, and photography. Each of these majors is also available as a minor, with the exception of film and art education, but with the inclusion of art history, creative writing, business, and textile design. Now that student to professor ratio is very indicative of our class sizes as well. We are an extremely small institution. We have around 400 students in our undergrad programs in total. So that's usually around 100 students per year, which again means very small class sizes, lots of great times to get to know your fellow students, to get to know all of your faculty and professors who are active artists and designers in their fields, really get the space to spread out and have your own studio space and really create some incredible work. And also a very unique portfolio, especially if you're interested in taking on a minor or taking on 2 minors. It can really create some very interesting experiences that you'll then carry into your internship and beyond. Specifically for LGBTQ students, I did want to mention our housing. Like I mentioned, we have 2 different residence halls. They're non-gendered housing, as long as you're in compliance with our admissions policy. We have single and double rooms offered, and we definitely encourage our students to reach out to the housing staff through your admissions counselor. We're happy to help in those situations to make sure that you're in the right living situation where you feel most comfortable. In terms of our health, we do have a focus on mental health here at Moore. Certainly our students have really called for that, and this university has responded really well. So we have 2 full-time counselors that are available for individual meetings Monday through Friday that students are able to schedule on their own, with plenty of referrals to additional mental health facilities in the city of Philadelphia, which again, a large urban space. We're really focused for all of our students there at Moore, but just something I wanted to mention, as well as our trans inclusive health coverage. So if you do take a part of our health coverage at Moore, we do have gender affirming healthcare, as well as, like I mentioned, healthcare for mental health. Just wanting to make sure our students are fulfilled and really maintained and helped out in all these ways. Again, with our culture, we have a DEIA accessibility committee that includes students, staff, and faculty, as well as a preferred name policy. So unless there is a legal reason to use your name, we're happy to use your preferred name and pronouns for student IDs, emails, information sent to your counselor and your staff members as well. I did mention that internship. Also just wanted to showcase some of the places that our students have interned in the past. Lastly, just wanted to mention our application process. That portfolio is a requirement of ours. I'll put my information down in the chat, so if you do have questions about what goes into a portfolio, I'll be happy to answer those. Like I said, easy to connect with us, and I really hope that you all enjoyed the presentation, and I appreciate the time to be here. Thanks, everybody.
Thank you, Moore College of Art and Design. Our next presenter is Oregon State University.
All right, going to get my slideshow shared. Okay, all right, so that should be good to go. So we are going to switch gears a little bit to a larger university on the other side of the nation. So my name is Corey Kimmel. My pronouns are she, her, hers, and I am with Oregon State University. We are located in Corvallis, Oregon. Oregon is in the Pacific Northwest, under Washington, above California. And Corvallis is only about an hour and a half south of Portland. So a really great spot within the state. Also only 45 minutes to an hour to the coast, where we have our Hatfield Marine Science Center in Newport, along with some other branch campuses within the state. But the main campus we'll talk about today is in Corvallis. Corvallis is consistently ranked one of the best college towns in the nation. This last year, 2021, we were ranked within the top 10. We also, according to a study from study.com, we were ranked number 12 LGBTQ friendly school in the US as well. I am an alum of OSU, so I'm a little biased on all of the great things that we have to offer. But our total student population, we are the largest within the state. You're looking at about 33,000 total students with about 56,000 permanent residents within Corvallis. As a large university, we're able to offer a lot of different student clubs and organizations, resources. So those clubs and organizations are over 400 different ones. We also have Pac-12 Division I athletics. Football's not always been our strongest suit, but we are a really strong baseball school. Same with our women's gymnastics team. So some really exciting things are happening in athletics. Additionally, we have 7 cultural resource centers on campus. So those are a really great way for students to kind of find their home away from home, find that community that they have on campus. Really, as a student myself, I felt that at OSU, like as a student, I was cared for. So that's something that we really like to make sure that our students are feeling well when they're in Corvallis. The 7 cultural resource centers are listed on the slide here. I am not going to list them all, but what I do want to talk about is our Pride Center. So all of our cultural resource centers have their own building on campus. So our Pride Center is open to everybody. Students do not have to identify within the LGBTQ plus community in order to use their resources or attend their events. But it is a really great way for those students to find other students that identify like them. It just celebrated its 20th anniversary. So really exciting things are happening there, and some upgrades to the center are in the works. Some resources specifically for students that are part of the LGBTQ community. You can see in this box underneath, starting with roommate matching and gender identity. So we do require students to live on campus their first year, but as part of that application, we have 10 different gender identities that students can select if they want to live with students that either identify the same way as them or want their roommate to be designated as an ally. We have this Pride community, which is gender inclusive living. So that is a specific floor within a residence hall for students that designate that they want to live there with those other students. Additionally, we have SOUL. That is an organization on campus for LGBTQ plus students that identify as a student of color or want to be, again, an ally for students within this multicultural support network. We also have organizations like the Rainbow Continuum and Rainbow Connect. Rainbow Connect is actually for current students and alumni of Oregon State University. So it doesn't just end once you graduate, you still have that support. CAPS, Counseling and Psychological Services, Student Health Services, lots of gender affirming care within our student health services, as well as specific group sessions or individual counseling that's free for students to use on campus. We have an interactive map online that shows you all of the gender inclusive restrooms across campus. And then as kind of mentioned previously, we also have name and use or preferred name services. So you do not have to worry about having your dead name as part of your identity while you're at OSU. While you are at OSU, we have over 200 academic programs for students to pick from. Lots and lots of programs. On our website, we do have a Find Your Major tool, so you can definitely take a look at that in your spare time, see what we have to offer. Chances are, if there's something you're interested in, we probably have it. We also, in addition, have a ton of academic support services, free tutoring, academic coaching. So if you find that that transition is a little challenging, we definitely have those resources there to help you out. Additionally, the ones in orange, pharmacy and vet med, those are our graduate programs. So just another thing to think about past your undergrad if you want to continue at the graduate level. if OSU sounds like a place you want to be. In terms of admissions and scholarships, we'll touch on that real quick before I talk about our contact information, but we do a holistic review process. That means we don't have a minimum GPA necessarily, but we take everything into account on your application: strength of curriculum, academic performance, any activities, your essays. We are test optional, so we do not require the SAT or ACT. In terms of paying for college, because we are across the US, you will be considered an out-of-state student. That being said, we do have our Provost scholarships, so those are for out-of-state students. It can really help narrow down those costs. I was an out-of-state student when I went to OSU, and so I can definitely vouch that the Provost can make a huge difference. Additionally, we have Scholar Dollars, which is an additional scholarship portal, so that will allow you to look at other companies, businesses, organizations that have scholarships you are eligible to apply for. Lastly, the FAFSA, free application for federal student aid. That is where loans, grants, and work study from the federal government come from. So lots of opportunities to help pay for college and make possibly a dream to go out of state happen and make that a reality. If you have any questions about how to get into OSU, that admissions process, what we have to offer, please reach out to us. You can find all of this information I talked about on admissions.oregonstate.edu. And you can also find your specific admissions advisor using this QR code that is on the screen. But with that, that's all I have tonight, and go Beavs.
Thank you, Oregon State. Our next presenter is Pace University.
Hello, everybody. Thank you so much for coming. My name is Lexi Leach, and I am an undergraduate admissions counselor at Pace University. My pronouns are she, her, and I am super excited to chat with you guys today, talk a little bit about Pace and also about our LGBTQA+ centers, both on our New York City and our Pleasantville campus. So a little bit about Pace University. We are located in Manhattan in the financial district, 5 minutes from Wall Street, right across the street from City Hall. And then we also have a campus up in Pleasantville and Westchester, about 45 minutes north. And there is a shuttle that goes back and forth between the two campuses free of charge if you would like to utilize both and take classes at both. In terms of size at Pace, on our New York City campus, we have about 6,000 undergraduate students. On our Pleasantville campus, we have about 2,000 undergraduate students, and our average class size is 20. So we do like to keep those class sizes small to make sure you're getting a lot of hands-on experience and really getting that time with your professors. In terms of financial aid, on average, about 97% of our students are given financial aid from the university. And on average, that financial aid is about $26,000, which is about half of the tuition at ticket price. Of course, we do have students earning more than that and a little less than that, but that's the average right now. Students do not have to apply separately to be a part of the Honors College or for merit scholarships. You will automatically be considered for both. If you are admitted to the Honors College, that is a minimum $15,000 merit scholarship right off the bat. In terms of our student population, we do have students coming from all 50 states, students from over 100 countries, and we have about 11% international students right now. Very exciting to live and work with students from all over. And then in terms of opportunities across our campus, we do have study abroad programs, semester-long programs, year-long programs, and shorter programs if you're interested in doing a program like over the summer or over winter break if you don't want to spend a whole semester away. It's also quite easy to double major or minor at Pace, even if they are in different areas of study. You would just have a different academic advisor to kind of help you keep on track for both of those. And we do have a liberal arts education. So all of our students, no matter your major, have a core curriculum. Of course, you get to choose which classes make up that core, but then you leave with a really nice, well-rounded education. We have over 100 majors and combined degrees as well. So if you decide to do a combined degree where you stay for like a 5th year and get your master's at the same time, then your scholarships will roll over to that 5th year. We also have some really great mental health resources, counseling giving to our students, and then they can also refer you outside of the university if you need additional support. So we're here to talk a little bit more about our LGBTQA+ centers, again, both on the New York City campus as well as the Pleasantville campus. So our mission, of course, is just to make sure that we have an all-inclusive campus for students, staff, faculty, everybody at Pace. And that is under the Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion Office. So again, just making sure that everybody feels seen and heard and loved all across our campus. And some of our values are advocacy, community, diversity, education, and inclusivity. And now let's talk about the fun part, our programs. So we have a lot of programs across our campus. The main one being our weekly discussion groups for students, faculty that are tailored to different community groups. So as you can see here, we have Out to Lunch, which is for students, faculty, allies, members of the community. We also have Tea Time, which is specifically for transgender students, non-gender conforming students, and non-binary students. We also have Q Camp, which is a leadership retreat for students of the community that helps instill the value of leading alongside our queer gender identities and sexualities, so kind of how to lead in your community. We also have the QTPOC corner, which is specifically for queer and trans people of color on our campus. We have our Lavender graduation, which is a special graduation ceremony just for our queer students. And they also have like an awards ceremony after, which is super fun. We have some amateur drag competitions. And we also have our Pride Prom, which you don't see here. Some of our students may not have had the opportunity to go to their prom in high school or weren't able to go to their prom as their full self. So we want our students to kind of be able to reclaim some of those opportunities. So we want to celebrate them here. In terms of life on campus, we have some policies in place to make sure that our students feel advocated for and seen and heard. So we do offer all gender housing, all gender bathroom access. We also have a lived name policy. So you don't have to have legally changed your name in order for us to use your lived name on all of our rosters, ID cards, emails, everything in the system. We also do offer medical coverage for gender affirming care or any other LGBTQA+ specific needs. And we offer pro bono legal support for that name change as well. We also have a lot of great partnerships across our campus. So all across campus and like alumni affairs, you see here counseling, faculty housing. We make sure that we have either members of the community or members from our staff advocating for our students in all of the different spaces across campus. We also have some majors and minors that are relevant. So if you would like to either major in our women and gender studies or our queer studies minor, actually pairs really, really well with pretty much any major on campus. And it's just a nice additional touch. So if you want to go through and look at all of the different classes that you would take within each of these, please feel free to do so. And then I also just wanted to touch one more time on how important our non-discrimination policy is. So we do take it very, very seriously here at PACE. And I will say from experience, just from being a staff member, it is one of the most inclusive communities that I've ever been a part of. And I feel so proud that all of our students feel so free to live their best life while at PACE. So here's how you can stay connected with us. Here are some of the different Instagrams you can look up if you want to look and see what our students are doing right now. And I will drop my email in the chat in case you have any follow-up questions. Thank you guys so much.
Oh, sorry. Thank you, Pace University. Our final presenter tonight is University of Delaware.
Hi, everyone. Give me 1 second while I share my screen. Okay. My name is Matt Hermanow. I am an admissions counselor from the University of Delaware. I'm also an assistant director in our office. My primary responsibility within our Office of Undergraduate Admissions is overseeing our visit experience, but I'm also the point person and lead for recruiting within Monmouth County, New Jersey. I'm going to be breaking this presentation into 2 short parts for you all. I'm going to be talking a little bit about the University of Delaware as a whole, and then some of our LGBTQ+ resources that we offer on our campus as well. So just to give you all a little bit more information and context for where the University of Delaware is located, we are located in the northern part of the state of Delaware in a small college town called Newark, Delaware. If you go over the Delaware Memorial Bridge all the way at the end of the turnpike, we're about 5 minutes into the state. We are a 4-year public state institution, and we are the state flagship for the state of Delaware. And as a state institution, we're also a Research One university, and we have a land, sea, and space grant. The University of Delaware also has over 150 different majors and minors that students can study on our campus, and all of our majors are 4-year and they're all direct admit. I always recommend students and family members check out our Major Finder website as your first point of contact with our office. If you go online to our Major Finder website, you can search for all the different majors and minors that we have on offer. You can learn a little bit more about the classes you'll be taking, the academic research that's within all of those departments, and there's also going to be direct contact information for all of our faculty and staff who work in those units. Also connected to our Major Finder website is our outcomes page. Our outcomes page is built in conjunction with our Office of Alumni Relations, and our Office of Career Services. And it really is a searchable index for what students are doing once they leave and graduate from the University of Delaware. We're really proud of the fact that 93% of our students are employed full-time or seeking further education within 6 months of graduation. So if you wanted to find out where in the country you're likely to move, what types of jobs and what types of companies are likely to hire you, or if you have any post-grad goals or professional goals like vet school, med school, MBA programs, you can search for those on our outcomes website as well. Bum, bum, bum. Now, with the University of Delaware, we are a direct admit school. We take both the Common App and the Coalition app. Those applications are fairly similar, but we're just going to be collecting just information about you, where you're from, the school you go to, and then the essays that are attached to those applications as well. Now, the University of Delaware also has an honors college that's open for all of our students to apply into. It does not matter what major or minor combinations you are studying. You'll just click a little checkbox on the application that tells us that you're interested in applying to the honors college. We are going to be looking most heavily at your self-reported academic record, also abbreviated to the SRAR, in order to gauge the type of student that you were during high school. When we're admitting a student to UD, we care most strongly about the types of classes that you've taken during your 4 years of high school, the grades that you've earned during those classes, and then the academic rigor that those classes were conducted at. Because we care most about your high school record, we actually don't really care about your test scores at all. We are a test optional university. We are currently test optional through 2023, and we're likely to be test optional for the foreseeable future as well. We're just waiting on our board of trustees to make that final vote sometime over the summer. So if you have taken the SAT or ACT scores, you can feel free to send them to us, but they're by no means required. We do not use them for merit aid consideration. We do not use them for honors program consideration or admission to any of our programs. And then last but not least, we just need to see a counselor letter of recommendation or a secondary school report. Secondary school report is an online form that your school counselor office will submit over to the University of Delaware that basically just tells us all of the information about the types of classes and things that were offered at your high school. Now, with the University of Delaware, we have 2 application deadlines you can apply by. We have an early action deadline of November 1st and a regular decision deadline of January 15th. Personally, I always recommend students apply early action. It makes it a whole lot more relaxing and stress-free for your senior year of high school. If you apply early action, you will get your decision back before the end of January. That being said, though, as long as you apply by a regular decision deadline of January 15, you're going to be given equal consideration for our honors college. You're going to be given equal consideration for all of our merit-based aid opportunities and admission to all of our majors and minors. The only downside would be that you would just need to wait until the middle of March in order to hear your decision back. Now, as far as all the different resources that we have for LGBTQ plus students on our campus, there are multiple different points of contact from professional offices on our campus, as well as student organizations on our campus as well. We have student organizations like our Lavender Programming Board, which are completely owned and operated and run organizations for our LGBTQ students on campus. They do various public safety advocacy events on campus. They sponsor our drag show that takes place every spring. We have OSTEM, which is specifically built for LGBTQ plus students who have a STEM focused major in order to support them through their more challenging majors and minors on our campus. We also have plenty of support from our faculty and staff on our campus, including our Pride Caucus, which is representatives of our student organizations as well as LGBTQ plus faculty and staff members on our campus in order to advocate for the LGBTQ experience on our campus, including some of our people such as Adam Kentley, our Dean of Students, and our Director of Student Equity and Inclusion. There's multiple different types of counseling support services on our campus that exist specifically to help LGBTQ plus students acclimate and transition from high school life into a college life in a new setting for them. And then of course, we also have our Lavender chats, which are peer-to-peer support networks for students who are experiencing like a rough transition from high school to college life. We also have plenty of different additional resources on our campus, including some links. So I definitely encourage you all to screenshot this page, just make sure you save them for your records. And then also important things to keep in mind is that University of Delaware has all gender housing and multiple different opportunities for students to live in gender affirming housing on our campus. With that though, one more slide of just links and contact information. I'll post my contact information in the chat as well. But depending on where you all live within the state of New Jersey, your individual county has your own admissions counselor. So make sure you check out our Meet Your Counselor page too.
Wonderful. Thank you, University of Delaware. We now have time for some Q&A with our presenters. So I'd like to invite all of you to join me on video, and I'll share a few questions with you. All right, you can feel free to respond in the order you presented if you'd like. So our first question is, what unique campus event or program is specific to the LGBTQ+ community at your institution?
Okay, so I will chime in first. So we actually have an organization called PRISM on our campus that they work with our other departments scheduling different events. I mentioned it before that during the month of October, we actually host weekly, or actually it's pretty much 2 or 3 times a week. There are events that go on, and that is campus wide. Everybody's invited, even from our other locations as well. And that goes hand in hand with all of our majors. Everybody is invited to those kinds of things.
Great. I'll go next. So at Moore, we have Moore Pride, which is actually our largest club on campus for those who identify in the LGBTQ+ community, as well as their allies. They host events like our Pride Prom, which was held in the fall this year for a lot of our students who were affected by COVID and not able to go to their high school proms. That was really lovely. They've also recently done a drag bingo night, which our students really enjoy bingo. I'm not sure what the draw is, but they're super into it. They're often like squishmallows for different prizes and things that they enjoy. We also just recently had our Spirit Week a few weeks ago that included a day on our LGBTQ+ history, especially in the city of Philadelphia.
I love myself some drag bingo. So anyway, for OSU, I talked about some of those resources during my presentation, but we do have our Pride Center. And as I mentioned, that is going to get a lift in the next couple of years. But the big event that they host is our drag show for students. Everyone can go, but that for students is free. Any community members, they get to use some funds to then put toward any other resources that the Pride Center would like. But again, Soul is kind of new this year. So students that are LGBTQ+ multicultural support network. I did mention our CAPS, Counseling and Psychological Services, but those support groups that they have are actually specifically for students that are part of the community. So that is a really great safe place. And then additionally, lots and lots of other resources for trans students and non-binary that you can find on our website as well.
I know that I talked a lot about our very specific programs in my presentation, but I think another thing that's really cool is because we're in the middle of New York City and Manhattan, our centers are really great about letting our students get out in the community. So some of their planned events are also off campus, and we've had our students go to different like political events where they are part of when different like policies are signed and things like that that are really, really cool that take place in New York City. So I love that not only there's something happening every day on campus, but also in the middle of New York City that we help use our funding towards.
So specifically within University of Delaware's Honors College, we have a unique program called Mosaic for all students, regardless of like race, gender, ethnicity, religious affiliation. That's really built towards building like anti-racist initiatives and cultural change on our campus, in addition to helping develop their writing skills and actually tackling these big topic areas in our campus newspaper.
Awesome. My next question for you all, and this might be your last question, is why should a member of the LGBTQ+ community or an ally choose your institution?
So we have it's a very large community on our campus. They've been very active. We've been able to really put them into these leadership roles where they've been able to make lasting changes on our campus. We pride ourselves in having a very large student organization. We have over 170 student organizations on our campus, and one of the great things that we offer is any student can come to our campus and actually make their own organization. So you can really make the campus someplace that you really want to not only succeed at on a professional level, but on a personal level as well, and feel comfortable in calling it your home.
So I think Moore is an exceptional place just because of how tight-knit our community is. Like I said, we've got 400 undergraduates, which is really exceptional in terms of getting everyone to know who you are, your artistic style. And again, that tight-knit community that's really focused on promoting those who've been underrepresented in the arts historically makes for a really great student body. We're actually the most diverse art and design college in the country. So it makes for a really incredible place to be and to be affirmed in your identity, as well as, have that personal and artistic development and growth. And then I also, again, want to give a shout out to the city of Philadelphia. Like I said, I moved here when I was 18 and have, loved it ever since. I think it's an exceptional place to be and to grow, as anyone in any communities, but certainly for those in the LGBTQ plus community.
For OSU, I just think our community as a whole is absolutely incredible. Again, I went to OSU, so I'm a little biased, but I do think any admissions advisor on this call will agree that the fit of a campus is just as important as, I see all the head nods, as majors and opportunities. And so even though we have this statistic about being within some of the top universities for LGBTQ plus students, you want to make sure that you feel safe on that campus and that you feel that you are going to be supported and celebrated for who you are. So I just think, visiting campus is so important to get that feel. But as far as OSU goes, I think just a large university provides you with so many support services and resources and opportunities to explore yourself, to grow, to meet new people. Additionally, going out of state is what I did, and it's a really great way just to, again, kind of start over, kind of be who you want to be without any sort of external factors and maybe people that you knew from high school or family that's close to home. So some really great opportunities out on the West Coast. Come out, West Coast, West Coast. No? Okay. Go Beavs.
I think above all else, PACE just really champions students to be their best, most authentic self, which is really exciting. I also think it's great to be, of course, in New York City, like a very queer affirming city, lots of pride events happening all over. So our students feel very seen and very safe in our community. And it's also a very large community at PACE. So there is a very large community of LGBT plus students. And so it's not something where it's like, oh, we have one event per year, like one tiny little center where you can go and feel safe for a minute, but you always feel safe and you always feel seen. And it's not like it has to be the only part of your identity that matters. But it is something that we're going to be celebrating all the time while you're here.
I would say for the University of Delaware, and this is something that just makes us unique as far as four-year public state institutions go, is that 70% of our students come from out of state. We receive students from across the country and across the world. So when you're coming to the University of Delaware, we are a residential campus. That means that over 99% of our students are going to be living in a residence hall during their first year on campus. So you'll have that feeling of an inclusive and supportive community, whether that is all gender housing or gender affirming housing, really from the minute that you step foot on campus. You'll find students who share the same background as you, as well as students from multiple different backgrounds across the country and across the world too.
Awesome. Thank you all so much for sharing more about your campuses. We are out of time for today's presentation, but thank you for sharing more about your institution. We want to thank any guests we have for joining us today. When you close the window for for this session, actually, you will see a brief 5-question survey that we'd like for you to fill out. We appreciate any feedback you can provide. We encourage you to check on the schedule for additional sessions happening today, as well as sessions occurring tomorrow. You will be able to find the recording of today's session, as well as all other session recordings at strivescan.com/New Jersey. Thank you all for attending. Have a wonderful evening.